What's up, y'all? In light of Thanksgiving, I would like to talk a little bit about Caribbean cuisine. And right now, I want to talk about St. Lucian food. Now, I know a lot of you are probably interested in hearing what I have to say. And I say that because, to be honest, in the comments, I've not seen anything. I rarely see anything positive said about St. Lucian food unless it is from St. Lucian's. And being a St. Lucian that lives overseas, I could understand why. Number one, some of you are going to think that I'm being biased by saying that I'm going to say that St. Lucian food is delicious because I am St. Lucian. But the truth is, St. Lucian food is delicious. The problem is, unfortunately, we don't have many people that can represent our true cuisine out there. And even when I travel back home, to be honest, I'm not really that impressed with some of the restaurants because I feel like St. Lucian cuisine is delicious. We just don't have the right people out there. And some of you in the comments, y'all can probably let us know where to visit when we visit back home. What restaurants that we can visit that will actually give us some real delicious St. Lucian food. Now, with that said, I do want to point out that a lot of the food that I enjoy as a St. Lucian, I don't see that being offered as options at restaurants when I go to it back home. And I can only talk about St. Lucian restaurants back home because I have yet to visit a St. Lucian restaurant in the United States. I've heard that there's one, I don't know, in Miami or something. But I don't think it actually is in Atlanta. But I have never been, so I can't give my opinion. I do know that we have a couple of famous chefs who have restaurants. One of them would be Nina Compton. She has, I think, two restaurants in New Orleans. I have never been because okay, let's leave that alone. I have never been. But I do plan on going to her restaurant whenever I make it to New Orleans. Another thing that I want to say. Oh, back to the point. So I want to talk about mapa. Y'all probably don't even know what that is. Like, what is mapa? Okay, so in St. Lucia, we make some fried fish and we will cook it in coconut milk. And if you've had mapa, it is delicious. If you have it with some dasheen and some boiled banana and boiled plantain and tanya, the salt, it just blends well. It just tastes just really good. Another thing that I want to talk about is kalalu. We make some, you know what? I feel like bouillon on the whole, St. Lucians are top tier with bouillons. I wish that we would take the time to include more of our cuisine in our restaurants when we open restaurants and not stick with just the regular cuisines that everybody know, like rice and peas and mac and cheese and um um curry chicken, oxtail, stew chicken. This is that's regular. I'm sorry, I'm not throwing anything out there. We all, like, in the Caribbean, we have different versions of the same food. I want to, when I have food from somewhere, I want that authentic stuff that you will only get in that country. So St. Lucians, when you guys have restaurants, I wish we would stick with, our one pots and our pigtail bouillon and smoked herring and, our sawfish and, yeah, we known for sawfish and big for sure. How about our national dish? Why not serve that at the restaurants? Okay? How about the roast breadfruit with some saltfish? Stew pork? Lucians. We have that. Lucians have that. Stew pork. Honestly, like, when I think about it, I have never had stew pork from any other country before. So I don't know if that's just a St. Lucian thing, and pardon me if I sound ignorant right now, but I really, the only place I've had stew pork. Maybe if there's any other place that I think that might do stew pork, it would be Dominica, because I feel like, again, our cuisine is very, like, similar. So I don't know, but stew pork, yep, and fig salad, we got that. What else? And fig salad, I have never heard of any other island doing fig salad. So I kind of feel like that's a St. Lucian thing. Sorry. If there are other people doing it, y'all got it from us. What else? Oh my gosh. Oh, our national dish, green fig and saltfish. Green fig and saltfish is needed at our restaurants. These are the things that would make us stand out. And then someone would say, oh, St. Lucian food is delicious. And it really is. So I wanted to talk about that because I feel like if I had the funds, everybody would know what St. Lucian food is if I had the funds. I don't have it. If y'all sponsor me, I can make it happen. But I'm just saying. Please don't sleep on St. Lucian food. We just need somebody to put it in their restaurant. Y'all don't know what our food tastes like.